We started in 1936 with my grandfather and his brother, Fred A. Carlson Pontiac downtown, and my dad married the boss's daughter and became a Pontiac dealer in Murray in 1953. As a child, it was a dream come true. I mean, every little boy loves cars, and you have little cars, but when I was 11 or 12 years old, I was at the dealership working, washing cars and moving cars. I got to drive cars around the lot. When I went to driver's training and he said, well, let's parallel park, I mean, that was easy for me because I did that every day.
Mark was born and raised in Salt Lake City, grew up through in public schools, graduated from Highland High School, attended the University of Utah.
My dreams were either I wanted to be an airline pilot or an architect, and I learned in high school that I was not very artistic, so that kind of eliminated the architect side. So I kind of dreamed about flying and being an airline pilot. In the back of my mind, the car business was always there.
He actually came to the U working full-time, helping his father run a business, and he tells a story coming to class in a shirt and tie because he was going to work and trying to fit college in, and his professor one day said, you need to go and do your job, and you need to do your learning more on the job than I can teach you here.
My dad called me in his office one day and said, our number 2 guy's leaving. I want you to take his job. If you're going to be in the car business, this is it. So he bought me an IBM System 3. So back then, that was an $85,000 computer that had 8K of memory. It took 3 hours just to print a trial balance, and we were doing $5 million in sales then, and a general ledger package. So I had to go to IBM school and learn to program, and I wrote a program that's used by auto dealers that does parts and inventory and financing and all those things.
He has written programs that are still used today in the automotive field.
I've been recognized by the import auto dealers as a dealer of distinction, so that was one of 4 dealers in the country one year. One Time Quality Dealer Award, which is given to a dealer every year across the country. And so those are recognitions of taking care of your customers, and that's what we're so proud of.
I know he worked because, I mean, he obviously is incredibly successful with his businesses and everything he's done, but when I think back of my childhood, I don't ever think of him putting work first.
When I was 35 and Allison was 5, we had general managers that were running the stores. I felt like I was in the way, so I moved out of my office and built a home office, and all of a sudden I was home.
I mean, I remember rollerblading down the canyon, playing like roller hockey, shooting hoops.
He has coached soccer, skied, done all the activities, and it has really been here.
You know, my dad was the craziest of all of us, like out there, like we were young, like flippers with our boogie boards, like out in like the deep ocean trying to find like the biggest waves to ride. And he was like the ringleader. I'm
a doer, I'm not a watcher, and so the kids and I we tried to learn to windsurf and bodyboard, and we traveled with the kids, and there's 3 just remarkable humans, so they're fun to be around. They were fun then, they're even more fun now.
I really admire that the way he's been able to find balance. He takes care of himself, and he and my mom have an incredible relationship and marriage, and he has always been there for me and my brothers.
I mean, I was a car dealer for 30 years of my career, and it's more fun to do other things. And so we have a great general manager that runs Toyota, and son Jeff runs the 2 Subaru stores. So I'm free to do volunteer things, which is what my real passion is.
He flies compassionate missions for a group called Angel Flight.
For people who need medical care, he goes and picks them up to bring them here so they can get care at Shriners, the University of Utah, or Huntsman Cancer.
Well, when you learn to fly, then what do? Right? They call it the $100 hamburger. So you get in the plane, you fly to Wendover and have lunch and fly back. Well, now with Angel Flight, you have a purpose, and so you can use the airplane to help other people.
He just loves being kind of in the forefront of it and not just the one that's writing the check.
There was a mom in a little town outside of Boise that had 3 children. One had no arms, one was wearing a helmet because her head had not fully formed. And Allie and I went up and got them and brought them back to Primary Children's Hospital. And so you do that and you just go, wow, I'm so lucky. It's more than just giving money. It's getting involved in an organization and learning how it works. I'm doing that now in the hospital. I'm just having the time of my life.
Well, I know he's been passionate about the car business, but I don't know that he's ever lit up talking about something like he has with the University of Utah Hospital.
I've spent time in a bunch of the departments, started the emergency department, and that got me to bed board, and that got me to environmental services, and it's just an ongoing learning process in such an amazing place. I guess I'd like to be remembered as someone that wasn't afraid to get his hands dirty and make a difference. And not just give money away, but because of our success, being able to help people both by working and giving.